Next, we move on to cartilage forming tumors. Now, let's look at the cartilage forming tumors that we usually see. Benign ones are osteochondroma, chondroma, chondroblastoma, chondromyxoid fibroma, and the malignant version called chondrosarcoma. So, the benign ones are benign cartilage forming tumors are osteochondroma, chondroma, chondroblastoma, chondromyxoid fibroma, and chondrosarcoma. Osteochondroma. Now, osteochondroma is a benign bone tumor that is very commonly seen in either late adolescence or in early adulthood. That is somewhere between 18 to 25 years. If it's most commonly seen as a single lesion in and around the knee, especially with a male predominance. I repeat again, these are usually or most commonly solitary lesions, that is single lesion that is seen in and around knee joint, more common in and around late adolescent or in early young age with a male predominance. Now, multiple osteochondromas do exist. They are associated with other syndromes. Now, let's look at which is the most predominant. As I told you, we can see 40% area. Now, this 40% area is in and around knee joint. Now, how does osteochondroma? Let's break the word. Osteo means bone, chondro means cartilage. Now, osteo. So, what is the osteoid part? Let's look at how osteochondroma looks like. Now, osteochondroma is actually the extension from the medullary cavity, and then it leads to formation of a hook-like and a mushroom-like outpouching arising from the bone or outgrowth arising from the bone. Okay, I explain again. It's arising at epiphysis or metaphysis, and it is having direct continuation of the medullary canal of the bone. It is arising from, and it has an outer blue cap, and that is your cartilage cap. So, usually it arises from bone of endochondral origin, long tubular bones in and around knee joint, arises from metaphysis. Very incidental finding. It sometimes becomes painful because it tends to impinge on the nerve around. Now, let's look at how does it look like. It looks like this deformity is called coat hanger deformity. You have a hook here on which you can actually hang a cloth here. It's called coat hanger deformity. Okay, this is the lesion here, and it's arising from here. There's a stalk here. Another X-ray finding. This is the bone, main bone, and here you have an osteochondroma arising with the stalk. And this is the gross. What do you do treatment for them? It's a benign lesion, so you basically excise that. And you see this is a stalk, and this is the mushroom-like lesion. Outer area is glistening because of the cartilage. Now, this is the cut section. Outer glistening is the cartilage. Inner one is the bony area. Similar here, the cartilage, that's hyaline cartilage with inner trabeculae of mature bone, that is osteochondroma. The osteoid part, the chondro part, osteochondroma. This is the cartilage. This is the pink one is the bone, osteochondroma with scanty marrow tissue. Let's go on to from osteochondroma, the treatment is excision. Let's go on to another lesion called chondroma. Now, chondroma is a benign tumor arising from the hyaline cartilage. It usually tends to be seen in and around small tubular bones of hand and feet. Okay, and if it's multiple, it's associated with Ollius disease and Maffucci syndrome. Now, can you see here in the 1, 2, 3, 4th, the fourth finger, you can see a radiolucent point-shaped lesion. Here also, point-shaped lesion. That point-shaped lesion is called in the X-ray a O-ring sign, that is well circumscribed oval lucency surrounded by thin layer of radiodense bone. Okay. Now most of the chondromas or enchondromas are benign lesion. Now do they progress to chondrosarcoma? Very rarely they do progress to form chondrosarcoma. Now those are what you're going to find in histopathology. You're going to find lobules of mature cartilage. Okay. Next we move on to another lesion, that is this. This is, I hope you know this lesion with the hook and the cartilage and inner bone. That's your osteochondroma. We move on to the next lesion called chondroblastoma. Now chondroblastoma is a lesion that you usually see in young patient, again in and around the knee joint. That is one of the lesions that we see in epiphysis. It's pretty painful lesion. Can you see in the patella? When we start seeing lesions in the patella, patella in and around the knee joint in young adults, our first diagnosis, if it's a tumor arising from the epiphysis, would be a chondroblastoma or a giant cell tumor. Can you see here a lesion here? Now what does chondroblastoma contain? Chondroblastoma contains these oval to cuboidal cells with grooved nucleus. Grooved means which has a slit-like space, and you have this. You have this giant cell. This is a giant cell. This is a giant cell. Okay. Now these are the, if you want to see here clearly, you can see that the cells are oval to cuboidal with grooving of the nucleus. That is, they have been slit open. Okay. And it has in some areas this characteristic chicken wire calcification. This is the chicken wire that you usually see to bound these hens and chickens into their area. The similar kind of sieve-like thing, calcification seen around the giant cells, seen around these cells, very characteristic lesion, chicken wire calcification. Next, we move on to a malignant lesion that's called chondrosarcoma, which is usually seen in and around 40 years or in elder age group, in and around pelvis most commonly. Very few of them tend to arise from the benign entity enchondromas. Then it is very nasty to produce metastasis into lung and skeleton. Can you see here? Most of the cases are in and around the femur, in and around the pelvis. Then comes femur and then the rib. Now this is the lesion which is lobulated with specks of calcification. This calcification is called popcorn calcification, characteristic of chondrosarcoma. Now this is, can you see, this is the whole entire tumor, and you can see there are glistening areas. Those are lobules of chondrocytes. Now you have said it's chondrosarcoma. This chondrosarcoma can be anything from a well differentiated to poorly or de-differentiated. Now well differentiated ones are very difficult to be made out from a benign lesion. You really need to search or find bits or put more and more bits to find the area of invasion into the bone. They look just like how a mature cartilage would look like. You really need to have an eye for finding out a well differentiated chondrosarcoma. That is mild degree of atypia, binucleate chondrocytes in the lacuna. Now the earlier picture which I showed you was a picture of a benign, was a picture of a well differentiated chondrosarcoma. Can you see this chondroid lesion invading into the bone? This is the bone, and it's invading into it's getting inside the bone. That's well differentiated chondrosarcoma. Here you can see much more better pleomorphism within the chondrocytes. They look angry. Okay, so this is poorly differentiated chondrosarcoma. So from the malignant one, we move on to certain lesions of fibrous and fibro-osseous tumors, that is fibrous cortical defect, non-ossifying fibroma, fibrous dysplasia, fibrosarcoma, and malignant fibrous histiocytoma. Now fibrous dysplasia is one of the developmental delays that you usually see as a benign tumor. What actually happens in developmental delay is that they don't mature into a proper mature bone. They can involve a single bone, that's called monoostotic, or it can involve multiple bones, called polyostotic. Okay, and typical X-ray finding would be a well-defined osteolytic lesion. Favorite site would be anything from femur, tibia, rib, skull, and you can see this typical Chinese letter pattern. Okay, and they are fibrous dysplasia. Fibrous, intervening stroma is fibrous. You have Chinese letter pattern with intervening stroma which is fibrous. Then certain miscellaneous tumors like giant cell tumor, Ewing sarcoma and metastasis. Now, why does giant cell tumor come into miscellaneous categories? You actually do not know what is the primary site or where it is exactly arising from. So that's the most common site. 34-year-old male developed pain and swelling in the left knee. X-ray showed expansile lesion in the lower end of femur and a soap bubble appearance. A very typical X-ray finding of giant cell tumor which we rarely find. Now, giant cell tumor, the other name for it is called osteoclastoma. In and around 20 to 40 years, with a bit of male predominance seen in epiphysis, most commonly seen around the knee. They're very aggressive tumor. They are very, though they are called benign, but they carry a malignant potential. So they are pretty aggressive. Where do you see? You see in and around the knee. Okay, here you see. Not exactly a soap bubble, but you see a lytic lesion. Something more characteristic other than the soap bubble is the rim of sclerosis, thin rim of sclerosis that you see. One of the characteristic findings saying that you might be dealing with giant cell tumor bone. Now, this is the typical soap bubble appearance that you see here. Now, this is the gross, this is the bone, and you have a lytic lesion which contains solid and cystic area. Cystic area show necrosis and hemorrhage. And it's called osteoclastoma. You have plenty of osteoclast giant cells. So these are osteoclast giant cells which contain 20 to 100 nucleus. These are multinucleate osteoclast giant cells which contain variable number of nucleus varying from 20 to 100. And in between that, you can see these plump oval stromal cells. That is osteoclastoma. Now they say the neoplastic cell of origin is not these osteoclastic giant cells, but these stromal cells, and these stromal cells tend to have origin from a histiocyte or a monocyte. So exact origin of osteoclastoma is still not known, but one of the proposals says that it might be from the stromal cells which might be of histiocytic origin. Now these are the osteoclast giant cells having nucleus around 20 to 100 of them, in between that plump stromal cells. Next one, an aggressive tumor that is arising in the diaphysis with usually seen in young age, associated with a particular translocation called EWS FLI1, that is translocation 1122 and 2412. Okay, and this is how it looks. This is the lesion. You can barely make out a lesion here. This on MRI tends to give an onion skin pattern. Can you see the elevation of the bone layer by layer? So it's called onion skin pattern. Okay, here in this one, this is the lesion in the diaphysis. And what is it composed of? Ewing sarcoma belongs to a category of small round cell tumor. So basically, you're containing small round cells, okay, having powdery chromatin or dark hyperchromatic nucleus, and these darker ones are mitotic figures. So they're very aggressive malignant tumors. And one of the most common form of skeletal malignancy is metastatic tumors, which can be direct extension, can be from the lymphatic, can be hematogenous. Most common when you see lytic lesions in the bone, you think of prostate in men, breast in female, it can be kidney and lung. In children, neuroblastoma and Wilms tumor. Thyroid, especially follicular carcinoma of thyroid, is known to produce multiple lytic lesions in the bone. And one of the characteristic lesion that you see in carcinoma of prostate when it produces metastasis is a sclerotic kind of bone. With this, we end with today's class. Thank you for patient hearing.